small piece of what SMS is capable of doing. So when we talk about the value of data, we're talking about overlaying maps, figuring out why we're yielding better in certain areas compared to the same spot in a different field. So it's all about answering questions, and precision agriculture can do that. As you see the iron worlds and the agronomy worlds collide, that's where you're going to find precision agriculture, and that's what we'll talk about, value of data. We're going to try and stay away from the SMS side of things. We're just going to try and inform you guys on why it's important, why do you need to see value in the data that you're collecting. So you guys aren't just collecting, you're just not harvesting corn or soybeans, you're harvesting data, and you need to understand what you can get out of that data.
Okay. So here we'll get into a little bit of new stuff on our direct command side. So first off, we're going to have a kit for the 2002 row gators. This is a sprayer kit, not a steering kit. So we'll be able to control the systems on that sprayer. This is not currently released. I've been told about what they're aiming for 3 weeks to have this kit released. The brand new Haggie sprayers, those kits are released currently. Big difference in this is in the past our Haggie kits come with a factory pump switch, and that's going to be included in the Haggie sprayer, so we don't need to provide the pump switch anymore. So we will have 2 new kits for this. RowGator is not released yet. Something else new to the direct command is our DC motor driver. What this is for Raven's crop start pump that they have. You can add this onto a planter. So what you can do is have your planter planting your varieties. If you have that Raven crop start pump on the system, we can control the amount of fertilizer we kick out with this DC motor driver. So all you need with this are going to be a liquid module. You're going to need your DC motor driver and then your crop start motor pump. And it's going to control the amount of flow on the planter while you're applying fertilizer. Then we're going to have our flow meter and optional section valves on the system as well. So you can be applying liquid fertilizer and planting your seed varieties at the same time. Something to note on this, if you guys do get this, you will not have to order this liquid module separately. It comes as a kit. That's going to be, I guess, more for JNS than you guys necessarily. That liquid module is included in the crop start kit. Okay. Another kit we have available is our liquid manure kits. We have 2 types. We've got our pinch valve and our hydraulic pump. The difference between the two, on your pinch valve system, that's typically going to go on a liquid manure kit that's got a PTO pump, and we're controlling a feed gate to control the flow of the manure going through the system. On the hydraulic pump, we're actually controlling the speed of the pump that's applying the manure on the tanker. Okay, so we've got 2 options there, and we can tie into the Crone flow meter on the system while we're going through the field as well. Okay. All right, so our ISO bus. You guys may have heard me talk about this a little bit before. Just to give you guys a little background on what ISO bus is, we can take our Integra monitor or our Versa monitor and hook it up to an implement that is ISOBUS capable, so it's got an ISOBUS system on it, and we can get the same button presses and monitor features that were originally with the monitor that came with the implement. So what ISOBUS is it's a standard that was created by a group of companies or an industry to have everything compatible with one another. They didn't like having 5 different monitors for 5 different implements. They wanted to be able to have one constant monitor be applicable to several different implements. So I can take a planter, an air seeder, a baler, as long as they're ISOBUS, hook them up to my Integra and run it through the Integra. What it does here is you'll notice on this screen it looks a little different than anything you guys have seen for those of you that have used it before. This would be exactly what a John Deere monitor would look like on their air seeder. So the screenshot we're showing is from a John Deere air seeder. That's what their monitor that they provide with the planter would look like. All we're doing is reading in what's called an object pool into the monitor and making it so we can have the same button presses, the same functionality as that John Deere monitor in our monitor. Some nice features for that you can run an Agleader system and this virtual terminal system at the same time. So say you've got a John Deere planter that is isobus capable and you've already got clutches on it or seat tube monitoring on it, you can run those two systems at the same time as view your down pressure, display your back pressure through the John Deere isobus system. So you'll have to toggle back and forth between the two. Some differences to know is the two systems don't talk to one another. So the Agleader system and the isobus system, they don't intermingle. So there's no data logging from the John Deere isobus system. There's no prescription mapping, so variable rate. We can't put in a variable rate on our USB and transfer that to the isobus system. There's one other one I can't think of we can't do. Data logging, variable rate.
I also want to comment here. There's an important thing to note here, and I think it's important to maybe step back from this whole thing and understand the big picture. So in the precision ag world, there's this huge battle basically going on between isobus system and a proprietary system. A lot of companies offer different things, and a lot of companies offer both. So essentially what it amounts to is isobus is nice from a standpoint that it's all plug and play. The connectors match up, you plug it in and it works. The downside to it is that it's very limited. Anything with isobus, it has to meet certain standards. So you have representatives from John Deere, Agleader, Case, Agco, Trimble, all manufacturers that have to agree to a certain output. So isobus will always be limited. So there's really no right or wrong answer here. It's just a matter of, it's important for you guys to understand what you want to do in your field. So Agleader is taking the approach, so Agleader is a proprietary system first and foremost, but we give you the option of adding VT, so it's kind of like a hybrid. So we're not going to dictate what you guys want to do in the field. We're going to give you an option of what you want to do. So like I said, it's a hybrid. And on the proprietary side, you get all kinds of features and things of that nature, but obviously it's not a plug-and-play type scenario. You have custom cabling, custom modules and things of that nature. So the Integra display is a hybrid. So I hope that brings some clarity to it. It really is important to understand what you guys want to accomplish in the field before you decide to go isobus or before you decide to go proprietary, and it doesn't, regardless of manufacturer.
Okay. So like I was saying, none of that does carry over to one another at this point. In the future, they're hoping to implicate data logging, prescription mapping, all that stuff across the isobus and the Agleader system. At this point, these are the supported isobus platforms that we have read into the Integra and tested to verify that everything does work. But that doesn't mean you can't try an isobus implement that's not on this list. Okay, so if you buy an isobus retrofit kit, you can try plugging into it, and it may work. There may be some tweaks to it. You can let us know, and we'll work with you to get that working correctly. Okay. So just some screenshots on what the isobus system will look like. Down along the bottom, you'll notice you've got your home screen, your map screen. So say on that map screen, I could be controlling clutches or doing seat tube monitoring or controlling my sprayer. And then on this virtual terminal page, this is where you're going to have all the screenshots and button presses for that isobus implement. And then the same screenshot we had before, this is that John Deere air cart. So we're going to have our tank volumes up here, pounds per acre, RPMs, our rate, and then we've got our button presses that would normally be on the John Deere monitor as well. Okay, so just to give you an example of what some of the systems do look like. All right, you guys heard me mention the Hardy feature unlock earlier. This is, again, to allow you to tie into Hardy's isobus system on their pull type and self-propelled sprayers. It is an unlock you have to get from Hardy. It's a free unlock, but again, you do have to go through them. J&S is not capable of unlocking that for you. You can use either our Integra or our Versa or Hardy's HC 9500, which is their version of our Integra, to do that. And it's going to have the same virtual terminal screenshot. So this is what would normally be on like their 6500 monitor. And then it's going to display on our virtual terminal page. And then once you read it into our system, this is what the run screen of Hardy's isobus interface is going to look like. So a difference with this, you guys heard me